Gardaland is a park located in the north of Italy, and wow, this was a great place. I went back in the summer of 2017, and literally this was one of the best days of my life. I wasn't even there the whole day, but the park is open so late in summer it didn't really matter that we arrived later. The entrance is quite different to lots of other parks. At the end of the car park you'll pass a sea life, probably because Gardaland's owned by Merlin. But once you pass that, you go under a really cool tunnel with like LED lights dotted around the inside, and that's really awesome. But when you get out of that, there's this massive fountain, and the entrance is just really nice. Now let's talk about their lineup. Gardaland's best two coasters are Oblivion, the Black Hole, and Raptor at the moment. Now when I went, Raptor was closed, so I couldn't get on it, though it looks like a great coaster, so I definitely want to go back and ride it because I'm really interested to see, is it better than the Swarm or worse? But that's probably the only annoying thing that happened when I went. Though I did do the dive coaster Oblivion and I enjoyed this a lot. It's situated in the space area and it has some great theming. The queue line was something else with the music and everything building you up for the ride. The layout's not too long, but it's much longer than Oblivion at Alton Towers, and I thought it was pretty solid. I had a night ride on it, and I was going through with some good speed. I remember going through that Immelman, and then the Airtime Hill, Helix, and Corkscrew to finish it off. Okay, and finally the drop at the start, the main part of the ride. I think it's great, but not as good as the original at Alton Towers. Overall, I think that Oblivion is an awesome coaster and I definitely want to go back to Gardaland to re-ride it. Something quite memorable was my Mutts, their Vekoma mine train, and although it might not sound like much, I had a really fun night ride on it. It has 3 lift hills and over 3,000 feet of track, and again a recurring theme. It has some really nice theming surrounding it, and when you're in the dark and you can't really see what's in front of you, it feels much faster than it actually is. The one thing that was memorable for the wrong reason is Blue Tornado, the lovely Vekoma SLC. What a bad ride. Let's move on to Shaman, the Vekoma looping coaster. Now this, and also Sequoia Magic Loop, I didn't get to go on. I literally went to the entrance, I was so close to getting on, but then I think it broke down or something, so I couldn't get on it. But on the whole, I was quite unlucky with what rides were open or closed on that day I went. The operations were good though, they were getting those trains out really quick, so I have no complaints of that. But next time I go to Gardaland, I'm sure I'll be completely fine, and I'll be able to get on Shaman and Sequoia Magic Loop. So those are the main coasters at the park, though there are some other smaller ones too. Something I did manage to get on was all of the water rides, and all of these were great. Colorado Boat is a brilliant log flume. It kind of reminded me of Logger's Leap actually. Jungle Rapids is the best rapids I've ever been on. The theming was so consistent throughout. However, my favourite ride was the Atlantis themed one. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's called Fuga delante. And this was a ride that really made the trip. It was dark by this time and they had lights surrounding the whole ride, and with the theming it just looked incredible. The ride itself was good too, the 2 drops are good size, and they sent out the second boat at the perfect time because when you're passing the first drop later in the ride, what happened to me was the splash from the other boat soaked ours, and it was just so funny. The park is split into many different themed areas, so you have an ancient themed area, a space themed zone, that's where Oblivion is, a fantasy themed area, western and pirate. And for younger groups of people there's Peppa Pig Land and also Kung Fu Panda Land. And for food and drinks there are plenty of bars and restaurants that you can go to. Although I did not enjoy Blue Tornado, I got a very nice hot dog at the place beside it. There are also regular shows around the park. I did one in this big tent and I really enjoyed it. It was like circus based, so I recommend those. And that's it for my review of Gardaland. What a brilliant park, I definitely recommend it. And also Lake Garda itself. Around the whole lake it has some amazing scenery with the mountains in the north side, and it's just a really nice place. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.